Good morning. Thank you all for joining. We'll give just a few moments to clear the waiting room and make sure that folks have connected to audio. As a reminder, when you are entering from the waiting room, please do remain on mute unless or until you are providing testimony before the board. Good morning. This is a hearing before the licensing board for the city of Boston. Today is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025. Today's hearing is being held pursuant to temporary amendments to the open meeting law. That is what allows us to meet virtually. Today's hearing is being recorded and will be posted to the City of Boston's website. We are joined this morning by Commissioner Liam Curran and Commissioner Kiana Saxon. Please ensure that your audio and visuals are working properly if you are providing testimony before the board. I will call each item in the order that it appears on this morning's agenda. I will then ask who is present on behalf of the licensee, who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department, and whether there are any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify. I will then swear in all parties. After that, the police report will be read into the record, and the licensee or their representative will have the opportunity to make a brief statement, followed by questions by the commissioners. All testimony will be limited only to those individuals with firsthand personal knowledge of the alleged incident. We'll begin with the first item on this morning's agenda, calling item number 1, Villa Francesca's Inc. doing business as Francesca's, located at 150 Richmond Street. Date of the incident, August 18th, 2024. Sexual assault, employee on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 22. Who is present on behalf of the licensee? Attorney Miller, I can see you speaking, but you are currently on mute.
All right, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Good morning, Attorney Green, Commissioner Saxon, and Curran, Attorney Stephen Miller, McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley. I have with me Tomas Saint-Laurent and his wife, Erlinda, who are the owners of.
Thank you. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Lieutenant Detective Troy, the investigator from the sexual assault unit, is unavailable. The detective, so I'm here.
Thank you, Lieutenant Troy. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning?
Sergeant William Gallagher, Detective Eddie Hernandez, be reading the LPV into account.
Thank you very much. Detective Hernandez, if you're going to be reading, if you could please turn your camera on so we can swear you in. Otherwise, Sergeant Gallagher, we do have you.
Okay.
Thank you. With that, can you all please raise your right hand?
You have to stand up and raise your right hand. Raise your right hand.
Thank you very much. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. Who will be reading the police report into the record?
Lieutenant Detective Troy.
Thank you.
Reading from a report written by Officer Mariam on August 18, 2024. It reads as follows. At about 3:30 a.m. on Sunday, August 18, 2024, Officer Mariam responded to a radio call for a sexual assault in an address in the North End. On arrival, officer with the patrol supervisor, Sergeant DeSalle, spoke to the victim, known to the Commonwealth, and her boyfriend, witness number 1. The victim stated that she, her boyfriend, and some friends were at Villa Francesca at 150 Richmond Street celebrating her birthday. Victim stated the owner of the aforementioned establishment, a suspect known to the Commonwealth, who was the one who organized the table for them and even allowed them to stay at the bar during after hours. The victim stated the suspect was sitting next to her on her right side. Victim stated that, quotation, that somewhere around midnight, the suspect grabbed her by the back of the neck and forcibly pulled her in and put his tongue down her throat, end quotations. Officer then spoke to the witness number one, who said the suspect grabbed his girlfriend by the back of her neck, pulled her in forcefully, and French kissed her with his tongue in her mouth. The witness number one stated that he then physically separated the suspect from his girlfriend and said that they were leaving. Shortly after, the suspect, alongside his wife, who at that time was at the bar, left the bar. The victim declined any medical attention. That's the extent of the original incident report.
I'll be reading the supplemental, sir. On Tuesday, August 27th, 2024, Sergeant Detective William Gallagher and Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to the BPD License Premise Unit, responded to Villa Francesco Restaurant. Detectives went there to speak to staff regarding a sexual assault employee on patron incident that had occurred on August 18, 2024. Detectives spoke to the person in charge, Ms. Genevieve Miron, who stated that she was unaware of the incident. Detectives asked Ms. Miron to preserve any security camera footage that the establishment might have. As a result, it was reported Sergeant Detective Gallagher issued license permit inspection notice 07844 for a sexual assault employee on patron. Ms. Miron signed for and accepted the notice. That's all.
Thank you. Attorney Miller, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Yeah, Detective Hernandez and Lieutenant, you have no personal knowledge of this incident, is that correct?
No, sir.
Correct.
Thank you. So I have with me Mr. and Mrs. Salmarone. They've worked at this establishment. Mr. Salmarone has started as a busboy in this establishment in about 1992 and has worked his way up from busboy to waiter to manager, and now the owner, his wife, started working in the establishment in 1997. Other than an incident a couple of years ago, which the board found no violation, they've had no issues whatsoever during this entire time. On this particular night, there was I did send over this morning some exhibits which I'll go through, did you have those, Attorney Green?
We did get those this morning. They are in the hearing folder and shared with the commissioners.
Right. Mr. Alfred Hook, who's a longtime customer of the restaurant, made a reservation for, I believe, his stepson and 7 other people, a party of 8, to come in on that night. The check was opened, which I gave you a copy of. Check was opened at 8:23, and it was closed at 10:24. There was 8 people. They were celebrating the birthday of the alleged victim. At 10, shortly after the check was closed, they went outside. On leaving, they took the photos. There were many more photos, but I just sent over a few photos showing the group with Mr. Salmarone, and they went outside and took the pictures. About 11:30, this couple came back. The couple was well known to Mr. and Mrs. Salmarone because they had been regular customers at the restaurant for over 3 years. They came back to the restaurant. The restaurant was shutting down. They were starting to clean up. There were a few customers left. They came and sat at the bar, and this couple requested Mr. Salmarone to sit with them. Since the bar was basically shut down, the bartender was cleaning up. They asked if they'd like a drink, and Mrs. Salmarone went behind the bar and made them a drink. So the 3 of them were sitting at the bar. Mrs. Salmarone was around the other side of the bar, directly across from them. And sometime thereafter, their friends came in, came back. A couple of the 6 had a drink. They left and told this couple that they were going to another place and they should join them. Mr. and Mrs. Salmarone were waited there while these two finished their drink. This couple finished their drink because they obviously couldn't leave while they're there. The staff had left, and the rest of the customers had left. It was a little bit after midnight, about 10 after midnight. They left, and Mr. and Mrs. Salmon left right after them. So I'm just going to ask a few questions of Mrs. Salmeron so the board can hear from her directly, and then I have a few questions for Mr. Salmeron so they could hear from him directly. So you heard what I said. That night you went behind the bar and made them a drink, made this couple a drink.
Correct.
And right across from you was the couple sitting right across from you and your husband.
Correct. Yes.
Did you have an absolute clear line of sight?
Absolutely.
Did you ever leave the room?
No.
So you stayed there the whole time. You never moved. You saw everything that was happening.
Yes.
Did you ever see what this couple alleged?
No.
Sure, you didn't go to the bathroom. You
I
didn't do anything.
didn't move from there.
You did not move. Okay. Mr. Salmeron, so you heard the report. When was the first time you were made aware of this?
When the police come over.
So when the police came in, so the incident technically happened on 8/18, so on August 27th, you were made aware. Sergeant Gallagher and Detective Hernandez came into the restaurant and talked to one of your managers.
Yes,
And that's the first you heard of it.
yes, correct.
So Mr. Hook, who's been a regular customer of yours that made this reservation, did you ever hear back from Mr. Hook?
Yes, he called me the next day, which the police come in. He told me, I'm sorry what the kid did to you guys. And apologize. And sure never happened. I apologize for you and for your wife.
Okay, and so you're looking at the board, you're under oath. This allegation never happened.
No.
The only other thing, and sorry, just on the exhibits, commissioners, there's a picture of Mr. Salmeron with four of the people. There's, I did send, their video was out at that time. I sent a copy of the receipt for the video being fixed. I sent a copy, another picture in a text from Mr. Hook saying beautiful. It was under the picture, beautiful. Thank you for everything. They said everything was excellent. A copy of the check, a copy of Mr. Hook paying the bill, and the pictures. The only thing I would like to also bring to the attention of the board is they called the police at 3:30 in the morning. And they left the establishment about 10 minutes after 12 and went to meet their friends at other establishments. We don't know where they went or what they did or what condition they were in, but it seems strange that if this incident happened at 12 o'clock, that they called the police at 3:30 in the morning. I have nothing further. Commissioners, Mr. and Mrs. Salmeron are here to answer your questions.
Thank you, Attorney Miller. We'll see if there are any questions from the board. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, any questions at this time?
Yeah, Attorney Miller, I'm looking at these exhibits. First page is a photograph. The second page appears to be the same photograph. Third page is correspondence from their company fixing the cameras. Fourth is a picture of a credit card. Can you tell me the significance of this photograph?
That was actually Mr. Hook's credit card, who made the reservation, and it turns out that he ended up paying by check. But
Okay.
it was
When was this photograph taken, and why was it taken?
the photograph of the credit card.
Yeah.
He sent me a text.
he texted it to him to pay the bill, and then he decided to just pay by a check.
Yeah. When did he text it to you? Sorry, I don't understand. Like, what was the sequence that caused a photograph of a credit card to be sent?
Actually, I actually put it in by mistake, Commissioner, but he had, when he made the reservation, he sent his credit card to just put it on his credit card. And then he decided he'd rather just send him a check. So
Okay,
when he made the reservation,
all right. And then can you tell me the significance of the next page?
which is what, the bill?
No, it's like it looks like a text chain. It says Alfred at the top.
Oh, that's from Mr. Hook, basically responding and text that Tomas that everything was excellent. They had a great time.
Okay. So Mr. Hook is texting. He receives it. Did he receive a text of the bill?
Oh, no.
Yeah, he received
Did he have a text of the bill that night?
Mhm.
So he received a text of the bill that night.
Okay.
And which is a little.
And then he
further-
also receives a photograph of everyone together.
Right. Correct.
What time was that?
I think it was about 11:30, 11:45. $11:39, it looks like.
So we have a picture of Alfred's phone showing us the correspondence he was receiving from the restaurant.
We have a picture of Tomas's phone receiving.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
We have
Mhm.
that's the picture
Yeah,
of Tomas's phone, Commissioner.
I'm just trying to get a timeline of like when correspondence was happening.
This was happening just about 11.
At 11:30.
39 approximately.
Saturday, I can see it at the very bottom, Saturday, August 17th at 11
Yeah.
something rather.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a bill for when these people allegedly came back in and ordered more drinks?
No, Linda just made him a drink because they basically had shut down, offered him a drink and they had already shut down. Or not, according to the police report, by the way, which said they let them stay after hours. Their license is to 12:30 with everybody out at 1. The fact is that, it was a little bit before 30 when they came back, and they were out of there a little after midnight. So they may have perceived it as being in there after hours, but they were only in there because they were cleaning up and customers had been leaving or pretty much had left. So no one was in there after hours, Commissioner. I just want to make that point.
Okay. The last thing I would want, just for the record, is probably from Secretary Green. We have notified the alleged victims for this hearing.
That is a question for Lieutenant Troy.
Okay. Lieutenant Troy.
Yeah, the matter was closed out by sexual assault for the due to the fact that the victim would not cooperate any further with the investigators. So the matter was closed out. So I didn't contact the victim, and I don't believe the sexual assault detective did either.
Okay. I think that's all I have. I think I'm clear on what the case is. So that's all I have. Thank you.
I just wanted to confirm from the woman who was testifying that your observations were the first time that everyone was there or after they came back, when you were saying I didn't see anything.
Well,
Did
I
understand
wasn't.
your testimony correctly?
I'm sorry.
Just to explain to her what time,
Oh.
this is when they came back, but just to.
Yeah, okay, so when they came back, so the bartenders were cleaning up, so we were closing. We were just waiting for the few customers at the bar to leave. And they came, so they called my husband, so he came over. And then he we offered them a drink because, you know, it was close. Like, so I went behind the bar, I made them the drink, I served the drinks to them, and they were right across from me, like a, you know, a very short distance. And then I stayed there talking to them, chatting, you know, like laughing, talking about, you know, everything about they wanted to get married and making laugh. Just talking about that. Yeah.
All
So
right,
I
thank
stay
you.
there. Yeah, you're welcome.
Are there any further questions?
No, not for me.
If I could just comment very briefly, Mr. Secretary, in that the attorney mentioned the text message here. I have the text message on the detective's notes here, and there's a continuation of it. I don't know. I see a picture here was sent, and it was sent at 10:35, and then there's a response to that at 1:40 a.m. on the next morning, and it's some offensive language from the witness, the victim's boyfriend, towards the owner here, and then there's a continuation the following day of from the owner. Can you please give me a call? So, I mean, you have a snippet of the text messages. You don't have the entire account that I see here.
So we don't have those text messages.
It's his phone. It's his text message.
And they weren't certainly provided to us before this hearing.
It's your client.
I understand. Well, I have his phone right here, and those text messages are not a continuation of it. So I don't know where they came from.
Thank you. Yeah, Lieutenant Troy did just send that to me during this hearing, and I've just provided it to you as well, Attorney Miller, so you do have it now. Apologize that this was not provided to any of us prior to now. With that, are there any further questions at this time? Okay. With that, the board will take this under advisement.
Thank you.
Calling item number 2, GSTH Investment Group LLC, doing business as Bijou and Rock and Rye, located at 51 Stewart Street. Date of the incident, October 18th, 2024. Assault and battery, employee on patron in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. Who is present on behalf of the licensee?
Once again, Attorney Green, Stephen Miller, McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley. Chance to look, but I believe Dave Smith and Joey Ganem are on with me.
I'm here.
Dave on?
Dave is on.
Mr. Smith, if you are with us, if you could please turn your camera on so we can swear you in. I do not know that I see him. I do see there was a Dave. Could that be him? No last name.
I would guess that's him.
Okay, Mr. Smith, if that is you, then I've just asked you to start your camera and also unmute yourself.
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Good
Thanks
morning.
very much.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Officer Petit Matre.
Detective Rose should be here also.
Does not appear to be. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning?
I see Detective Earl is participant here, but I didn't hear him answer up.
There we go. Yep, I do see Detective Hurled. Asked you to unmute and to start your video. Okay, I'll ask again, are there any other individuals? There we go, thank you. With firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning? Can you all please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Who will be reading the police report into the record?
Officer Petit Matre will be doing it.
Great, if you could please proceed for the board.
At approximately 2:31 a.m. on Friday, October 18, 2024, Officer Petit Matre assigned to the Alpha 436 Alpha responded to a radio call for an assault report at Bijou Nightclub, a lounge located at 51 Stewart Street in Boston, Massachusetts. Upon arrival, Mr. Ricardo Owantia Velez and two other friends outside of the nightclub approached the officer. Both claimed they were assaulted by the security guard. Mr. Owantia Velez stated that his friend from Mexico were visiting and were overcharged. The head of the security team denied the allegations. The victims were intoxicated and declined medical assistance. Mentioned their intention to sue the establishment. The officer advised them to contact their credit card company to dispute the charges pending an investigation.
Thank you very much. Attorney Miller, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Officer Petit Matre, when you asked, when they told you about the fact that they were overcharged, did you ask them to show you a receipt?
I don't recall if normally we do ask that when I get to the scene. I believe they saying that it wasn't given to them. So it was a back and forth situation. So my job was to de-escalate the tension at the scene and to do what I had to do at that day. Mention above.
And officer, the club was closed at that time. Is that correct? And there were remaining people around, and the only other person I think you spoke to was Dave Smith, who's the head of security. But they were the club was shut down tight at that time. Is that correct?
I would say so.
I have nothing further. Thank you. Thank you, officer.
Thank you, sir.
So, Joe Ganem, will you just identify yourself to the board, please?
Joseph Ganem, General Manager.
And were you there that evening?
I was.
17/18. Do you remember dealing with this gentleman and his few friends claiming
Yes,
they were overcharged?
Yes, I do remember dealing with them.
So why, I mean, is it normal for you as the general manager to get involved with customers like this? Were they complaining that they were overcharged? Is that why you were dealing with them?
Well, no, I was dealing with the table, the reservation, particularly because they were having trouble paying their tab.
So they
that's when I get involved as a general manager, is when a reservation has trouble paying their balance due. So I'm the last one that the floor managers called to come handle those situations.
And was it because the cards were being declined?
Correct.
So you got involved with them, and eventually they were able to pay?
Correct.
Was there any issue about them being overcharged?
No, there wasn't. Inside at the register, they found someone that could pay, took their credit card, we swiped it, they signed. They took whatever they took, their receipts, their belongings, and they headed outside. It was all friendly interaction on the inside.
So after that date, was there any chargeback from the credit card companies?
There was not.
There was none. So you're not aware of the incident, or I should say, are you aware that of an incident where the security guards or bouncers assaulted them?
No.
Did they try to come back into the club after it was closed?
They did. They did try.
Did they try and force themselves past the security guards?
They were aggressive. They were pretty aggressive trying to come back in.
Well, it was closed, so they just
Yeah, it
kept
was
them
closed. We
coming
were
back
closed.
in?
The transaction happened with the lights on inside. You know, that's how far into it we were with the payment situation on the inside.
All right, so you're not aware of security guards doing anything other than resisting them to re-enter the club that was closed?
Correct.
Dave, you there?
Yes, sir.
You're the head of security?
Yes, Dave Smith, security manager.
And you're the one that actually it was a little after 2:30 in the morning, and you're the one that actually spoke with Officer Petit Maitre, is that correct?
Yes, I was actually in my car leaving, and I saw the blue lights coming. He made a U-turn, and the guys were the three guys were walking down the street, walking to the front of Bijou. I recognized them. One was eating pizza. So I just pulled over, got out the car to see what was going on with the officer. He spoke to them. They continued to yell about being charged 4, 5, 6 thousand overcharged. He told them a couple times to talk to their credit card company, just get in touch with them. They were belligerent with him. A couple times he had to tell them to back up out of his face, and just went on and on from there, back and forth. And he just advised them what they should do, took their information. I just pretty much stayed there with him because they kept stepping in his face.
So the security guards and the door people were gone at that time?
Everyone was gone. I locked up. I was the last to leave. Everybody was gone. Their clothes weren't disheveled. There was nothing of incident, zero.
So did you speak with the security guards that worked that night that were at the door in the next, whenever they showed up again? Did you ask them about the alleged assault?
I asked them about it, but there was zero incident. There was just only security there was the two late guys that myself and the two late guys that make sure the girls get in to the garage inside the Uber or their rides home.
So the alleged assault basically was not letting them re-enter the club after it was closed.
Exactly. They were mad because they couldn't get back in, and they just kept talking about different amounts that they were charged.
Further, both Commissioners Saxon and Curran, both Dave Smith and Joe Ganem are here to answer any questions.
Okay, for me, just for clarity, at what time was the bill dispute and settling happening?
On the inside?
On the inside, not just the cards being declined and finally getting the bill paid.
From what I recall, from the hours of 1:50 a.m. to about 2:10, 2:15 a.m.
Okay, and then you said they left.
Correct.
And were they gone for a period of time, or did they just stay outside?
I believe they just stayed outside. Big Dave could probably answer that question. I usually stay on the inside while Big Dave handles the outside. So I had to stay inside and handle this particular situation until about 2:15 a.m. So as they got escorted out with security that was inside, they were like the last people to leave.
Okay. Did they leave it all? Sorry.
Yes, they did walk away. They walked up to the corner. I'm just assuming they went to New York Pizza around the corner. Like I said, when I saw them, when I was getting in my car, one had a slice of pizza eating. So.
Okay. Yeah. See, the only reason I wanted to ask was, I think it would have been relevant if they'd stay there and been just in your face like for half an hour without you guys seeking some assistance from the police. So
no,
that's not what happened, right?
Yes, sir. That's not what happened at all.
All right. That's the only question I really had. Thank you.
Nothing to add. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no further questions, then the board will take this matter under advisement. Calling item number 3, which contains the same licensee, GSTH Investment Group LLC, doing business as Bijou and Rock and Ride, 51 Stewart Street. Date of this incident to October 30th, 2024. Assault and battery, patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. Who's present on behalf of the licensee?
Once again, Attorney Green, Stephen Miller, McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley, and once again, both Joe Ganem and Dave Smith.
Thank you. And who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department for this matter?
Detective Brian Hurld.
Thank you, Detective Hurld. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify? Thank you, Detective Hurld. Have you already been sworn in?
Yes.
Great, that's what I thought. In that case, you may please read the police report into the record for the board.
On 10/30/24, about 2 a.m., Officer Dismarius responded to 51 Stewart Street, Bijou, for an assault report. The officer arrived and met Stephen Loud and Ash K. Shah, who stated that on their way leaving the club, Loud was struck in the face and fell to the ground. Shah covered Loud up on the ground, and they continued to be assaulted several times. They were unable to give a description of the suspects involved, and Shah stated that there was 3 or 4 males. Loud has a visible injury to his lip, and Shah stated he was struck in the head, but did not have any visible injuries. The officer walked the victims to the emergency room at Tufts Medical, where they voluntarily sought medical treatment. The officer spoke with staff at Bijou, who stated they did not witness an assault in the club. Patrol was notified to conduct Code 35.
Thank you very much. Attorney Miller, would you like to address this incident?
Detective Hurd, do you have any personal knowledge of this incident?
No, so I just followed up for video, and I was granted video basically like the last 45 to 50 minutes of closing, and there was nothing of note on video.
Thank you, Detective. I'm sorry, I have no further questions of the detective. Joe Ganem, were you working that night?
I was, yes.
And the assault happened on 10:30, and the police report, the violation report, was issued on 11:10. You met with Detective Hurd and gave him the video from that night.
Correct.
And that was one of the areas that actually was still working before. And so did you, after you got this report of struck and on the ground and multiple people assaulting and all that, did you talk to the staff?
I did speak to the staff.
Did anybody see anything?
Nobody saw anything.
So it was on a night like that, how many security staff would you have approximately?
On that night, we had 2 floors open, so we approximately had 18 to 22 security guards scheduled.
And amongst other people working there, waitresses, barbacks, bartenders, bussers, would be another, how many people? 30, 35, 40 people?
About 40 people. There's 27 tables, 8 barbacks, 8 bartenders, 3 barbacks, 10 bussers. We're pretty heavily staffed every night.
So with about 60 staff, nobody saw anything?
That's correct.
Is it possible that this happened outside or down the street, or, I mean, say it was while leaving the club, on the way leaving the club, but is it possible that it happened in the club where no one saw it?
I'd say very, very highly unlikely something like this would happen inside the club. Unlikely.
Dave?
I have nothing. No one has any knowledge of the incident at all, except for what came back from the police.
Okay, Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon, we don't really have anything to add to this other than talking to the staff, and no one saw anything.
My first question will be to the detective. After this initial report, were you able to focus in on like time and place that this alleged to have happened? Like the club and exact time?
Yes. So I believe the time we went back was just before the call, but I think when I had originally spoken to the victims, I tried to narrow down the time, and they made it seem like they called relatively close to when the incident happened. But from the video shared, it should have covered.
It should have covered.
Yeah, even if it was a little early. I recall, I think it was either 45 to 50 minutes, and it just the club closing, and looks like what would be a typical night. Nothing goes wrong.
And it should have covered both in time and place, like area of the club?
Correct.
All right, that's all I have. Thank you.
And a similar question. Thank you.
Thank you. The board will take this under advisement as well. Calling item number 4, same licensee, GSTH Investment Group, LLC, doing business as Bijou and Rock and Ride, 51 Stewart Street. Date of this incident, November 3rd, 2024. Assault and battery, patron on patron, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 138, Section 64, and Chapter 265, Section 13A. Attorney Miller, the same witnesses this time around as well?
Yes, Attorney Green, thank you.
Thank you very much. And who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department for this item?
Detective Kenneth Curley.
Thank you, Detective Curley. Is it possible to turn your camera on so that we can swear you in? Perfect. Thank you very much. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify this morning? Great. Detective Curley, can you please raise your right hand? We've lost your video again. Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Could you please read the police report into the record for the board?
About 4:58 p.m. on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, Officer Milliken in the Delta 441 Frank responded to a radio call for an assault and battery report at 771 Beacon Street, Boston. Upon arrival, Officer Milliken met with the victim, identified as Denise Yoldas, date of birth 9/15/03, who reported at 2 a.m. on Sunday, November 3rd, 2024, he was assaulted by multiple people while leaving the nightclub Bijou at 51 Stewart Street, Boston. Yoldas reported a group of unknown suspects confronted one of his friends. Yoldas reported that he got in between the suspect and his friend to defend his friend. He reported that he was then thrown to the ground and punched multiple times by a group of people. Yoldas reported that one of the suspects was a 5'10", 200-pound Middle Eastern male. Yoldas was unable to further describe any of the suspects. He denied seeing any weapons. He reported that he went to Mass General Hospital after the incident and sustained bruising to his face from the assault, and denied any other injuries.
Thank you very much. Attorney Miller, would you like to address this incident?
Yes, Officer, you have no personal knowledge of the incident. You have basically, your knowledge is based on, I'm sorry, Detective, based on the from Mr. Yildiz. Is that correct?
Yes, well, I have this report, and then I also have a cell phone video that he sent to me.
Showing the assault?
Yes, it shows him fighting with two individuals, and it looks like there's at least another 7 people in the background that are involved in this incident, and it appears to be in the club.
You shared that with the board or the licensee?
I don't. This case is still ongoing, so I haven't shared this video.
Yeah, no video has been shared
Like
with the board. at this time.
view it, I can definitely get it to you.
Was
I also believe I requested video at the time.
so, Detective, did Mr. Yildiz file a complaint?
No, not at this point.
And so when you say that it's an ongoing investigation, it's not pursuant to any sort of complaint that was filed. Is that correct?
Well, he filed this report.
Right. No, I understand, but he hasn't filed any criminal complaints or anything like that.
No, he is not.
Thank you, Detective.
Thank you.
So, Dave Smith.
Yes, sir.
Working that night?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Yildiz come up to you?
He didn't come up to me. I was in the area of the complaint, and I saw the answer is yes. I did. He didn't come up to me. I was there.
You were there, and when he came up to you, was his friend with him? You said
yes, he was.
His friend was with him?
Absolutely.
And he told you he was punched?
He said he was assaulted, punched, yes.
And did you ask him by who? And he said he couldn't identify anybody?
Yes, sir. I asked him who, show me who it was, and he couldn't show me.
Did you ask his friend?
I asked his friend that he was protecting, didn't know anything about it. He didn't know who it was or what he was protecting.
So after that, what did they do?
Everyone left. They left.
So they went to you. They didn't say call the police or do anything. They said they couldn't identify anybody and they just walked out?
Basically, yes. We looked for someone that hit him and we couldn't find anyone.
So once again, Gannon, you still there, I hope? Bill, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. So again, how many staff was you testified the previous case that there would be approximately 60 staff on? Would that be the same on this?
Correct.
So on this night, was there any, other than Dave talking to Mr. Yildiz and his friend, any other security guards or wait staff or bussers or anybody tell you that there was this incident going on?
No staff members reported any sort of incidents like such that night or the night after. No one brought anything like this to my attention.
So have you seen Mr. Yildiz since this incident?
Yes, several times. Several times he came into the establishment afterwards.
So would he be a regular at the club?
I'd call him a regular, yes.
And was there another incident where he thought he saw the person that may have attacked him?
Yes, there was, and he spoke to me about it, and it was confirmed that it was not the people that he assumed that attacked him.
When you say it was confirmed, did you or Dave or somebody go with Mr. Yotis and confront those people?
Correct. It was Big Dave and I together.
With Mr. Yotis, and then they confirmed that they weren't involved.
Correct. Correct.
And I think that's it. So other than them reaching, did Mr. Yotis ever provide you, and I'll ask the same, his cell phone video of the incident?
He did not. No.
Dave, did he show you the incident that he had on cell phone?
Not at all. If he did, I would have saw the people he was that assaulted him. That he said assaulted him. He didn't show any video.
So after he told you that, he and his friend just walked out of the club?
Yes.
And then they called the police sometime the next day, and in the meantime, he's been a regular customer at the club?
Yes.
Brother.
And just to add, I
Yeah.
provide security whenever he comes. I put security at his section.
Just to make him feel comfortable?
Yes, sir.
And once again, he hasn't in the multiple times he's been back at the club, he hasn't been able to identify anybody that punched him.
No, sir.
Nothing further, Commissioner Saxon and Karen.
Okay, I think I have some questions for the detective, and really what I want to get at is whether we need to kind of continue this matter regarding this video. So if I could just, if you could tell me, Detective Curley, just lost your video and you're on mute. So
Is it back?
Yeah, we can.
I can hear you. I don't need your video if it's helpful. You don't need it. But so my question would be regarding the video. Like, do you have a sense of who's taking the video and why?
No, I'm not sure who took this video. But it seems like the staff. Maybe I can follow up and show this to the staff, and maybe they can actually ID one or two of these individuals. And then we could go from there.
Okay.
Certainly cooperate, Commissioner Curran, and we'd want to figure out who these individuals are so they don't come back in the club.
Okay. Back to the video. Or I've had some experience with these videos taken on cell phones. Is it one of those videos where it's clear that the matter had already started and someone pulled out their phone and started taking video?
Yes. This is probably just the middle of this incident.
Okay, so
it's
for our purposes, usually when we're talking about an assault, generally we are trying to get to the bottom of whether the assault was foreseeable, whether something was going on before that the club could have intervened on. Does this video enlighten that at all?
No. This is the middle of the incident, and I could tell you that I don't see any staff members in this video.
They weren't intervening. Okay, so that would have been the second
I don't
question.
see present. So this seems to be towards the beginning of this incident.
Yeah. How long does the video run?
Maybe 10 to 15 seconds. It's not a long video.
Lieutenant Detective Troy, if I could, previously sworn, I'm just looking at the video now. It's 6 seconds long.
6 seconds.
It appears to be inside the club. Would appear to me to be in the middle of a dance floor.
Okay. All right. I don't quite know how to feel about that regarding our inquiries. I mean, what I would say is that based on the testimony, I would have been convinced that there might have been a failure to call police here, but you weren't written up for that, as Attorney Miller knows. I kind of want to state, you know, you've testified that someone was informed that there'd been punches thrown. I think that we've, as a board, have been very clear that that's really the point where police should have been called. Even though you haven't been written up for it. Regarding what they haven't written up for, the assault, I'm not sure whether we have any reasonable expectation that more is going to be found. I'd like to hear what Commissioner Saxon, how she feels about whether where we are today versus where we could get if we continued it.
Yeah, can someone just confirm from the establishment, were cameras working? Did you guys go back to look at any of the footage if the cameras were working?
So they did try to, and unfortunately the board knows, and we filed the receipts from our video. It was not until approximately the beginning of December, we spent almost $10,000 getting the video system cameras working. Some cameras weren't. They were running over every 3 days. So in an instance where you know, some of the cameras, they could not find anything. As the Lieutenant Troy said, the cell phone video was like 6 seconds long, and the staff just no one seemed to see it. And then when and I understand what Commissioner Curran's saying, and we discussed that with the licensees, where he came up and said, you know, he was punched. I asked him why they didn't call the police, and number one, he said he had no idea who punched him, and number two, they just left. So calling the police would have been kind of a futile effort. And saying somebody claimed they were punched, and he couldn't identify anybody, and he left. So that was the reason. But I did point out to them that it would be good if future, even if this happened, that they would at least have a police report.
Yeah, as you know, Attorney Miller, just make the call. 911 will triage it. You tell them the whole story. Someone allegedly were punched, they left. 911 will, you know, approach it appropriately, I'm sure.
Yeah, I made that point with them, Commissioner.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. I had feelings that I might ask for a continuance. I don't. After my questions, I'm not really convinced anything would come of it. So I think I have nothing further.
I don't have anything further either.
If there are no further questions, then the board will take this matter under advisement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That video has not yet been submitted, so if it is in anyone's possession, if you could please forward it to the board, and I'll make sure it's shared with the commissioners. That being said, the board will take this under advisement. Thank you.
Thank you.
Calling item number 5, Aya Pizza LLC, doing business as Redline Pizza, located at 580 to 582 Dorchester Ave in South Boston. Date of the incident, January 30th, 2025. Patrons on the premise after the 11:30 p.m. closing hour, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9, and license not visible, it being under/in the cash register, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9. Who's present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning, Attorney Green, Dennis Quilty, attorney at McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley, representing the licensee. Although I don't see them, I believe.
I do see an Aya Pizza LLC in the participant list.
Yes, I'm sorry, we're here. We're just having trouble with the audio.
There you go. You see you. Please identify yourself.
Marhouse Ramadan, who's one of the owners, and Heba Muhammad, who is his daughter, and we're going to ask the board for permission to allow her to interpret for her dad, since he has not a great command of English, and she is very proficient in that regard. And before we start, I did have just a point of information. As you know, there were like 4 of these on this morning.
Correct.
They're, to say the least, confusing in terms of what is alleged, what the dates are, etc., and especially with regard to item number 5 and item number 6. They both have the same date. They both have exactly the same violations cited, yet it's two different applications. And there are various dates on both the police reports for item number 5 and the police reports for item number 6, January 28th, January 30th, December 4th, December 26th. It's extremely confusing as to what's being alleged, but on their face, number 5 and number 6 are stating the exact same violations. And I don't understand why there are two of them and not one.
Thank you. Are you asking for them to be read in together then?
Well, I'm asking for some relief here. What are we doing?
This is being recorded. I'm on.
Why are there two different sets of violations citing the same thing on the same date? And again, both of which include multiple other dates in the narratives. It's very, very difficult to defend against something with so much uncertainty in the documentation. I'd like some clarification on what's going on with number 5 and number 6 being the same. With different violation numbers, everything else appears to be the same in terms of what's being alleged. Does anybody know? I mean, it's unfair to a licensee to try to defend with what appears to be a shotgun approach to these. I just don't understand it. The dates don't make any sense.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty. The dates represent the dates that the license premise violations were issued, when the specific violations were observed. And I think it's probably best to let the police explain that as they read their reports that you have had for several weeks now.
Just as an example.
Sure.
On the very first one, the license premise inspection notice, even though we're being told January 30th, date and time of violation, December 4th. That's on the face of the document. Date issued, January 30th. Like 2 months later. Again, I mean, we are put at a complete disadvantage trying to defend with such a wide disparity of times and dates and allegations. They're very unusual, just to put it mildly. And the next one, which is January 30th, the date and time of violation, December 26th.
Thank you. Yep.
Issued, you can hardly read it, but it's either the 29th or the 30th of January. Again,
Right.
30 days later.
It probably makes most sense, and I will, defer to the commissioners, obviously, but to go through one by one, where you'd be able to question the, responding officers about what was written when and why and what they observed when and why, rather than trying to take these all at one. Again, I'll defer to my commissioners here, but you have the violation reports in front of you, as does the board, as do the officers.
I just want to state my objection to the nature of these documents and our inability to properly defend the client.
Okay, Attorney Quilty, just let me see if I have this clear. So for example, number 5, right?
Yep.
Violation number 070822 on the agenda, right? You're referencing the agenda and the date cited on the agenda.
Yeah, and I've got the inspection notice right.
Yeah. Or the hearing notice, right?
Yep.
And on your hearing notice, it alleges that this occurred on January 30th, 2025, right?
Correct.
And you're saying that in the body of the reports, nothing occurred on that date. Something occurred on a different date.
No, what I'm saying is in the body of the report, the
Yeah.
date and time of the violation is almost 2 months earlier.
Yeah, December 4th.
4th, correct.
Yep.
An incident that is on my notice and on your agenda suggests that it happened on January 30th.
Yeah, but also my agenda, at least, give me 1 second, says December 4th as well. See, like, and on the hearing notice, it says violation, the number, and then the date of that violation, 12/4/24.
That is
It
correct.
says 070-822.
Yep.
It says December 4th,
2020. So for this violation number, we should hear evidence regarding them being open after 11:30 on December 4th, 2024. Right?
well, I mean, I guess we are, because that's in the body of it, but it.
Okay, so let's
So
do
notice
this one and see what happens.
Whatever. Yep.
Okay.
I just want to point out that there are some oddities and discrepancies with these documents that make it very difficult to properly defend these people.
All right, let's do one and see how it goes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item number 5 has been read into the record. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Officer Michael Kelly.
Thank you, Officer Kelly. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of this alleged incident who wish to testify this morning? Can you all please raise?
Sergeant Detective Blando, Lieutenant Detective Troy.
Thank you, Lieutenant Detective Troy. Can you all please raise your right hand? Mr. Ramadan and Ms. Mohammed, if you could raise your right hand as well. Thank you. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. Officer Kelly, will you be reading the report into the record?
Yes.
Thank you. You may please proceed.
All right, so this is my report from the night of December 4th.
Great.
About 11:48 p.m. on Wednesday, 12/4/24, Officers Kelly and Joyce in the Fox 201 Alpha responded to a radio call for a person with a knife in the area of 510 Southampton Street, Boston. Multiple C6 units responded. Upon arrival, officers searched the area of 510 Southampton Street and Andrew Square for a person matching the description of the suspect. White male, red fleece jacket, to no avail. Officers met with the victim in the area of 301 Southampton Street. The victim stated he had gotten a coffee at the Dunkin' Donuts at 510 Southampton Street and was walking into Redline Pizza across from 580 Dorchester Street to grab a slice of pizza. The victim stated he saw Christopher Rudak inside Redline Pizza, and Rudak shouted at him, "He's a serial killer, he's a serial rapist, get him." The victim stated at this point the suspect, who was with Rudak, tried to attack him. The victim stated the suspect began trying to punch him and then pulled out a large knife and began to chase him. The victim stated he ran back to Dunkin' Donuts where his car was parked. The victim stated the suspect continued to chase him, so he ran away from his car and down Southampton Street towards South Bay Mall and called 911. Officers then transported the suspect back to Dunkin' Donuts to retrieve his car. Officers broadcast a description of the suspect over Boston Police Radio Channel 6. The suspect is described as a white male, clean-shaven, about 5'9", about 450 pounds, wearing a red fleece jacket with grayish sleeves. Officers continued to search the surrounding area for the suspect to no avail. While speaking with the victim appeared very frantic and afraid. The victim stated he was unsure why Rudak was referring to him as a rapist. The victim stated that he had information about a girl who disappeared 2 weeks ago and stated to officers he believed Rudak and the suspect were involved. The victim continued to state that he had information regarding missing females. The victim stated he was not hurt and denied the need for Boston EMS. The victim stated the suspect never made contact with him with his fist or with the knife. The victim stated the knife was large in size. Body-worn cameras activated.
A secondary report written by Sergeant Detective Blendo reads as follows. On at about 12:59 on Thursday, January 30th, 2025, Sergeant Detective Blando and Detective Heislip performed a licensed premise inspection of Redline Pizza and Grill located at 580 Dorchester Ave. On January 28th, 2 days previous, Sergeant Troll had issued a violation documented in a separate incident report. Part of that violation with the license was that the premises license was expired. On today's date, detective noticed there was no permits posted on the walls of the premises. When the staffer asked Ahmed Mohammed, he called the owner, Mohammed Murad, who told him that the new permits were inside the cash register. Detectives checked the permits and noted the license premise, CV license, health permit, and certificate of inspection. In addition, there was a report from Wednesday, a separate incident report from Wednesday, December 4, 2024. A patron of Redline Pizza was harassed and then attacked by people inside the restaurant at 11:48 p.m. The license of Redline Pizza and Grill is from 5 to 11 p.m. with all patrons out by 11:30 p.m. This incident shows the patrons were inside the restaurant past scheduled hours, and citation number was issued for the violation. Mr. Mohammed signed for and accepted the violation. That's the extent of that incident report.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty. Now, if you would like to address this incident.
Okay. Well, I first want to go to the original report, which appears to be December 4th, and that's Officer Kelly. Is Officer Kelly still out there? No?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, okay, thank you. This radio call for a person with a knife in the area of 510 Southampton Street is not the location of Redline Pizza, is that correct?
It's directly across the street.
But it's not Redline Pizza. You responded to another location.
And yeah, the call didn't come in at Redline Pizza, no.
And it appears from reading this, did you see any of this take place, or was this reported to you by Mr. Sean Frankson?
It was reported to us by the victim in the case.
Okay. So whatever had occurred had already happened when you arrived, and this fellow reported it to you?
Correct.
Okay. So you have no personal knowledge of what occurred that night other than what Mr. Frankson told you?
Other than the victim's statements to me about what happened, no, I didn't see the interaction happen, so no.
Okay. And did your report also describes that person as appearing very frantic and afraid, and he was making all these allegations about rapes and some other things, is that correct?
Well, the suspect made the allegations about the rapes. The victim appeared frantic. That.
All right. Thank you. And then if I guess Lieutenant, is Lieutenant still with us?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Thank you. So you were reading the report of another detective. You have no personal
Sergeant
knowledge.
Detective Blando.
But you have no personal knowledge of any of the circumstances.
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. And they have, it appears as though in addition to December 4th and January 30th, there's a report of something on January 28th. Is that anywhere on? Was that noticed for today's hearing?
Yeah.
That's farther down.
Number 8.
That's
I'm sorry, number 7.
That's item 7, Attorney Quilty.
Okay. All right. So with regard to patrons on premise after closing hour and license not visible, is there anyone present today that can testify as to those matters?
Yeah, Sergeant Troll is here, and he can testify to item number 7.
Correct. I'm Sergeant Troll. I'm here.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
Correct. I'm Sergeant Troll. I'm here. If you can hear me.
Yep, I can. Thank you very much.
He's not previously sworn, and it's his matter is not item number 7.
Correct.
It's referred to it in this.
Is there anybody on item number 5?
December 4th. Speak about December 4th, right?
Yeah.
Take your pick. That's the problem. January.
Well, not
30th,
really.
December
It's
28th, December 4th, December 26th. I mean, this is why. I mean, what I'm suggesting is.
But the Attorney Quilty, your question was, can anyone speak to
number 5? Who saw the people were in there after hours?
Exactly.
I've not heard anything.
The witness informed Officer Kelly that he was in there getting a slice of pizza when he was accosted after hours, and that was the time frame that the witness gave him.
The same witness who was frantic and everything else.
I don't know. He was assaulted.
No testimony from anybody here today, subject to cross-examination, as to either incident alleged in item number 5 on today's agenda.
Attorney Quilty, point made, but we can take hearsay. With
Hearsay upon
other
hearsay?
supporting testimony,
Hearsay
right?
upon hearsay, Commissioner?
Well, it goes to weight, not admissibility. So,
Thank you. Got it.
I do have a follow-up question, and Attorney Quilty, I'll let you jump back in if you need to. But Officer Kelly, it's not clear. Were you at Redline that evening?
So we never went into Redline because once we spoke to told us it happened in there, we continued to look for the suspect because he was carrying allegedly a large knife. Typically, to pull video from a restaurant, that's more of like a detective job.
Yep. Okay, and then a couple more questions. The victim, was he clear that he was able to enter into the restaurant or was making an attempt to enter?
He said he was going in.
Okay, so for me, that's not super clear.
I can't really recall if he said he was inside or if he was going into the restaurant, but he was attempting to go in there and get a slice of pizza.
Okay, and you're interacting with him at approximately 11:48, is that correct?
Yeah, 11:40, maybe a couple minutes later, because it took us a second to find him because he kind of ran away from the scene.
Okay, is it clear to you how much earlier than 11:48 did this all happen?
It got called in at 11:48, and I would assume right before 11:48 is when it actually took place.
Okay. That's all I have at the moment. Attorney Quilty, I know I interrupted you, so do you have anything else?
I only on the same subject matter, if you will. The report indicates that this person had gotten a coffee at 510 Southampton and was walking into Redline Pizza to grab a slice. It doesn't say that he was in Redline Pizza, but that's for you guys to decide.
I don't think I have any questions to add. I'm trying to keep the facts straight. We're talking about notice that was on January 30th, but the incident happened on December 4th. And I think from there,
it appears to have happened on a
facts
couple of
as they
days. So that's the confusion. But
Great.
I have further questions if that was anybody's question of me.
Are there any further questions on this item?
Give me a moment, Mr. Secretary. Yeah, I don't think I have anything else regarding December 4th.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you. This under advisement. Thank you. Item number 6 concerns the same licensee, Aya Pizza LLC, doing business as Redline Pizza at 580 to 582 Dorchester Ave in South Boston. License premise inspection notice was issued January 30th, 2025, and underlying incident as stated in the hearing notice and also in the agenda, December 26th, 2024. Patrons and premise after a past permitted time of 11:30 p.m. in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9, and license not in conspicuous location in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9. Attorney Quilty, same witnesses as the previous matter.
Same witnesses, and I just wanted to state, I won't belabor it, the same objection. Again, we have multiple dates, January 30th, January 28th, and December 26th on this report, or these reports, which again cite the very same elements that were cited in agenda number 5, which we just went through.
Thank you. The objection is noted. Who is present on behalf of the Boston Police Department for this item?
Officer Kelly is Officer Kelly still here? Yes.
Yeah.
It's his report from December 27th. Lieutenant Detective Troy also.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with knowledge of this incident who would like to testify on this matter? You have all been sworn in. Officer Kelly, you may please proceed with your report to the board.
Okay. Do you know which report this is? I only got a report. I only got a notice for the first one, but I'm at the report writing system. I can just type the I number in.
Lieutenant Detective Troy, I can read the secondary report or the initial report from December 27th. That report reads as follows: at about 11:58 on Thursday, December 26, 2024, Officer Kelly and Joyce responded to a radio call for a person with a knife at Redline Pizza, 282 Dorchester Ave, South Boston. On arrival, the officer made entry into Redline Pizza and observed the suspect matching the description given Boston police, a male blue hoodie, orange hat. Officer immediately detained the suspect, performed a pat frisk of the suspect due to the fact that officers were aware that the suspect may be in possession of a knife. Suspect stated to Officer Kelly that he had a knife located in the pouch hanging from his neck. Officer Kelly recovered a black folding knife from the suspect's clothing. The suspect was read his Miranda rights from Boston Police Miranda card on scene by Officer Russell. Officer Kelly spoke to the victim, Ms. Howlander, who stated that the suspect had been belligerent and refusing to leave the store. Victim stated the suspect began smoking a cigarette inside the store, at which point himself and the manager were trying to get the suspect to pay for the food and leave, at which point the suspect took out a black folding knife, pointed it at the victim and stated, "I will cut you." During the altercation, the suspect stated he was not going to pay for his food and stated, "I'll eat for free." Officer Kelly spoke to the manager, Mr. Ramadan, who stated that he told the suspect he needed to be out of the store by midnight. Ramadan stated the suspect did not want to pay for food he ate, which included slices of pizza and half of a sub. Ramadan stated the suspect was verbally abusive towards staff members. Ramadan corroborated the victim's story and stated he witnessed the suspect pull a knife out and pointed at the victim. Officer Kelly was able to obtain footage of the incident recorded on a security camera. Officer Kelly advised the manager to save the video for detectives. Officer Kelly saved a copy of the video on his department-issued iPhone. It should be noted the suspect was screaming homophobic slurs during the entire incident, calling officers homophobic slurs, and he was incredibly uncooperative through the booking process and continued to call officers homophobic slurs. Suspect was placed under arrest and transported. The knife was seized and logged into evidence, and the suspect was charged with assault with dangerous weapon. And then there's a secondary report from Sergeant Detective Blando, and it reads as follows. About 12:59 on Thursday, January 30th, 2025, Sergeant Detective Blando, Detective Heislip performed the licensed premise inspection at Redline Pizza and Grill at 582 Dorchester Ave. It goes on to reiterate what was previously stated in the report relative to Sergeant Troll, and then it indicates that there was a report written on Thursday, December 26th at 11:59 when a staff member of Redline's Pizza called stating that he had an unruly customer who refused to leave and pulled out a knife. The manager, Mr. Ramadan, stated he told the customer he had to be out by midnight. The license of Redline Pizza and Grill is 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. with all patrons out by 11:30 p.m. Instance shows the patrons were inside the restaurant past schedule hours and citation was issued for the violation. Mr. Muhammad signed for and accepted the violation. That's the extent of the reports.
Thank you, Lieutenant Troy. Attorney Quilty, would you like to address this incident?
If I may, Officer Kelly, did you make observations about the individual with the knife?
Yes.
So based upon what the various reports indicate, would it be fair to suggest that the person with the knife was threatening one of the owners and staff, and perhaps they were unable to close on time with that in their face?
I mean, yeah, I guess you could say that. It was after 11:30, but sure, you could say that.
But we have somebody with a knife who appears to have been threatening people in the building and refused to leave. I mean, that would be some indication that it would have been impossible to close on time if that was the case.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
And this one, the inspection notice 070823, which believes I think was filled out by Sergeant Blando, Detective Blando, says, did owner or manager cooperate with the police? Yes. Were police called? Yes. By whom? Staff. So the incident regarding an individual with a knife and threatening people in the store was called in by members of staff at the store.
That's correct, Councilman.
And that would appear to be the proper thing to do in the circumstances, would it not?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Thank you. We'll see if there are any questions from the board then. Commissioner Curran, Commissioner Saxon.
What time the call came in? Sorry.
Call came in at 11:58.
So 28 minutes after the store should have been closed.
All patrons off the premises by 11:30 p.m.
May I inquire as to whether it's reasonable to think that someone being threatened with a knife might have the first thing on their mind protecting themselves and their customers? And
Very much doubt it. Taken 28 minutes to call.
It was staff who made the call to 911.
Attorney Quilty, you have your client here. They can tell us what was going on that evening at 11 p.m., at 11:30 p.m., and maybe later, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why aren't they telling us what happened?
Well, I'd be happy to call them. I hadn't called them yet. Shall I?
I mean, I could ask them. What were patrons refused service on this evening at 11 p.m.?
Eva, are you with us here with your dad? Did we lose them?
No, they're with us.
Working on their mute button.
I've just asked you to. There we go.
Sorry. Yes, I apologize. Yes, we're here.
Can you? I'm sorry. Do you, Commissioner Curran? Do you want me to question him, or would you like to?
You can.
Okay. So, Heba, could you've been sworn, correct? Could you just state your name for the record?
Heba Mohammed.
All right. And are you related to the gentleman seated to your right?
Yes, that's my father.
That's your father. And are you willing this morning to interpret for him as I ask some questions?
Absolutely.
Okay. And he's been sworn as well. So make sure he understands that he's been sworn to tell the truth here. Can you?
Yep.
Okay. And he's been sworn as well earlier. So with regard to the incident we just heard of, that is concerning the person with the black folding knife on the night that staff at the establishment, I don't know whether it was your dad, but staff at the establishment called the police to report the person with the knife. Can your father tell us what was happening at the time that he was to have closed and had no patrons in? So that is to say at 11:30.
No, at 11 p.m. Sorry, Attorney.
11 p.m. I'm sorry. Well, let's say between 11 and 11:30, what was going on? Was the person with the knife in the store? And did your father call the police?
All right, just give me a moment to interpret. بيقول لك ايه اللي حصل لما كان الراجل في المحل بالسكينة كانت الساعة كام؟
هو كان جاي على 10:30.
So he arrived there at 10:30.
وبعدين أخد الأوردر بتاعه وقعد ياكله. بعد ما أخد الأوردر وأكله لقيناه بيولع سجاير، قلنا له إحنا بنقفل الساعة 11 ومن فضلك تطلع وحاسب. فقال لا أنا مش حاسب والأكل مش عاجبني ومش هحاسب وولع برضه.
So at 10:30 he went and he ordered his food. He sat down to eat it. And then he sat down and he was lighting a cigarette. So my father approached him and asked him to obviously not do that and to pay, and he needed to be out of the restaurant by 11 p.m. And he refused to do so.
So then what occurred in the next minutes between that time and 11:30?
بعد كده حصل
We tried to tell him get outside. He started بدأ يزعق لنا.
he started yelling.
طلعنا كلنا حواليه كنا نكلمه.
So they were trying to diffuse the situation. So the staff went out and they were trying to talk him to calm down.
واحد من اللي شغالين معانا طلع يطلعه برا زقه وقال له ما تجيش جنبي وطلع عليه وطلع.
So one of the staff members asked him to leave, so he kind of pushed him out, and that's when the person took out the knife and wanted to stab him.
لما نقينا مع السكينة اتصلنا بقى بالبوليس على طول. كل ده خد وقت يعني ما رضناش نتصل.
So it took time. We didn't want to call the police. We were trying to figure the situation. We didn't want any problems, but then when they realized that it wasn't going to go anywhere, that's when they called the police.
And did the staff people, did your father direct someone to call the police?
انت قلت لحد يتصل بالبوليس ولا انت اللي اتصلت؟
أنا اتصلت.
He was the one that called the police.
And so are you suggesting that the time between 11:30 and 11:48, they were trying to resolve and get this person out, and then they called the police once things were safe?
Yes, that's what he said. They tried to diffuse the situation, but they really couldn't, so they called the police.
The commissioners may have some questions for us, so please just stand by to help out again here with the interpretation.
All right, there was mention of video. Has the video been preserved?
Yes, they gave the video over, I believe.
Do you have the full video?
انت معك الفيديو في
معايا لا مش معايا دلوقتي. ممكن ننزلوه من الكاميرا بقى.
Yeah, they can get it from the restaurant.
Okay, because all right, now I have to go back to Officer Kelly because it says that you observed some video, Officer Kelly.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, I did observe some video.
They've just testified that this man came in at 10:30 and was asked to leave before 11. Is that what the video showed?
I can't testify to what time the video was taken, but the video showed the sort of altercation of them trying to remove him. I'm not sure exactly the timestamp of the video, though.
Okay, how long did the video go on for?
I mean, it might be like a 30-second video, maybe a little longer. I don't have the video in front of me. I might have it in my phone if I can look.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm really getting at is did the video go on for an hour?
No.
Okay.
Commissioner Kern, maybe I can clarify this from the,
I have the
sorry.
timestamp of the video from the video that was sent to me that night.
Yeah.
It's at 11:54 p.m. 12/26/24.
So I guess my question for the premises would be, is the timestamp on your video system accurate?
التايم في الفيديو بقى كويس ولا؟
التايم كويس بس احنا فضلنا موجودين فترة معانا. البوليس موجود كله معانا فترة وبعدين طلعوا برا ورجعوا انه احنا لقينا في فيديو اهو طلعنا.
الفيديو الوقت كله ولا انت اديت له 30 ثانية؟
لا مش الوقت كله، ده احنا الحتة بس اللي
No, so the video that they showed you was only a part of it, but it wasn't the entire video. So I don't know if you want us to get the entire video, we can send it over.
Yeah. I mean, based on your testimony, I would expect a very long video.
Yeah. No, but that's from what he just told me. It was only that part of them trying to have him leave the
Yeah, so I'm inviting you to send me the whole video. Send us the whole video.
Okay, will do.
And we would take a look at that if you sent it.
Okay.
Commissioner Kern, if I could, perhaps I could clarify the 911 calls. The CAD system, the computer-aided dispatch system, records all the 911 calls. And the first call came from, it says that it came at 23:58:39. So, and the call, it says the caller is staff and states a person is threatening him with a knife. And then it continues at 23:58:59. It gives a description of the person. It says he's refusing to pay. at 0001, so just after midnight, the caller states the male has a knife in his pants pocket right now. And the caller, the call taker records that the male is yelling and swearing in the background, arguing with staff, and they're telling them not to smoke in the pizza shop. And then at 1 minute later, it's 000134, caller states that he's been there for 30 minutes giving staff and customers trouble, then drew a knife and threatening them with that he won't pay for his food. And then 1 minute later, the officer, it's noted that they have one in custody, which means that the suspect is under arrest.
Okay, thank you.
Lieutenant Troy, just to confirm, you said that the caller said that the person had been there for 30 minutes.
It says
and
at
that was the short answer.
000134, the caller states that he's been here for 30 minutes and giving the staff and customers trouble, then drew a knife and is threatening with it. He won't pay for his food. And that's just after midnight, a minute past midnight.
And may I just inquire of that topic, that it would appear that the person was in there harassing and hassling and threatening the staff and the whatever people were in there for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, whatever it was. And
30 minutes, it says.
Yeah, but Attorney Quilty, he would have supposed to have been denied entry at 11 p.m. and beyond.
But he said he was in there at 10:30. So at some point after that.
Well, that's what the testimony was. So
we became violent, and I mean, the reason why somebody would be more worried about their own personal safety than closing the door with a guy that's inside, I think, is kind of obvious. These people were afraid.
I'm only speaking for myself, Attorney Quilty, but in order for me to believe 10:30, I'm going to need video of 10:30. This wasn't happening anywhere near 10:30. It was an hour later. So if you want me to believe that this all started at 10:30, you guys can provide the video of that. If not, I'm seriously doubtful of that allegation, of that testimony.
Having had no opportunity to see any video, it's very hard for me to counterpoint with you on that.
It's in the possession of your client. They already said they have it.
Well, just 5 seconds ago, and certainly
Yeah.
I wasn't able to see that. So, and nor were you.
Well, I'm open to looking at it if you send it.
No.
Are there any further questions on this item?
I have none.
Okay, there is a request for video beginning at or around 10:30 p.m. Please forward that as soon as you're able. Make sure it's shared with the commissioners.
And through past 1 a.m. just to cover the whole time period.
Okay.
Thank you. Please do forward the video when you have it. And with that, the board will take this matter under advisement. Calling item number 7, same licensee, Aya Pizza LLC, doing business as Redline Pizza, located at 580 to 582 Dorchester Ave in South Boston. Date of this incident, January 28th, 2025, open for business after hours, after 11:30 p.m., in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9, and non-renewed common victualler license, and not posted in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9. Attorney Quilty, same witnesses as the prior items?
Yes, sir.
Who's present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Troll.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with first-hand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify? Sergeant Troll, could you please raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. If you could please read the report into the record for the board.
Yep. Good morning. About 12:05 a.m., so it's just after midnight on Tuesday, 1/28/25, Sergeant Troll conducted a license premise inspection at Redline Pizza, located at 580 Dorchester Ave, South Boston, assisted by Officer Desmangles. Upon arrival, officers observed the business still open with patrons awaiting for food. Sergeant Troll spoke with the owner, Mohammed Morad, who acknowledged that he had yet to renew his common victualler 7-day license and was also aware that patrons should not be allowed inside after 11:30 p.m. Morad stated he would go to the following morning to renew his license. license premise violation issued.
Thank you. Attorney Quilty, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Very briefly, did they, the inspection notice indicates that the management cooperated? Yes.
They did cooperate. Yeah, I assume I checked it off correctly, but yeah, they cooperated.
Okay. And do you know, did somebody follow up on the renewal of the common victual license?
So I did not follow up, so I can't speak to that. I can just speak to that evening that I went there.
Okay. And the individual you spoke to is not the individual who's here this morning testifying, Mr. Ramadan, correct? It was another.
Correct. Yeah, he
Mr.
identified
Morad.
himself as the owner and gave and Mohammed Morad.
I have no further questions.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty. Do you have any questions of your witnesses, or can we move to go to the
I
board?
just want to ask, could we, Ebba, could you come back on the screen, please?
We're here.
Thank you. Will you ask your dad, after this incident, it appears as though the license at that moment in time had not been renewed. Was the CV license subsequently renewed, and has it been posted at the premises?
عملت الرينيول اللايسنس وحطيته في المحل.
كلهم موجودين على الحيطة.
Yes, everything is posted.
موجود على الحيطة anytime أيوة application بدي.
Yep, everything is renewed and posted.
الحيطة متعلق.
And could you just state for the record what the relationship of Mr. Morad is to the business?
He is the other owner. He's part owner in the business as well.
So he's a part owner and your dad's a part owner.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. The commissioners may have some questions for you. Hold on there.
Sure.
I have no questions.
None from me, thank you.
Thank you. The board will take this matter under advisement as well. And item number 8, same licensee, Aya Pizza LLC, doing business as Redline Pizza, located at 580 to 582 Dorchester Ave in South Boston. Date of this incident, January 13th, 2025, expired common victular license in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 140, Section 9, and expired inspectional services department certificate that had expired on September 1st, 2024. Attorney Quilty, same witnesses once again.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Who's present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
I am Detective Hernandez.
Thank you. Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify?
Sergeant Detective William Gallagher, if need be.
Thank you. You have all been previously sworn. Detective Hernandez, if you could please read the report into the record of the board.
Good morning, sir. On Monday, January 13, 2025, Sergeant Detective William Gallagher and Detective Eddie Hernandez assigned to the BPD license premises conducted a license premises inspection of the Redline Pizza. Detectives were also there to speak to staff regarding a complaint that had been received. The complaint stated that the pizza shop was open for business past their closing time. Upon reviewing the licenses, certificates, and permits of the establishment, detectives observed that there was no current inspectional service department certificate posted 9/1 of 2024, and no current common victular license posted 12/31/2024. Detectives brought this to the attention of the person in charge, Mr. Ehab Patel. Mr. Ehab Muhuris Patel. Mr. Muhuris was unable to provide detectives with the current licenses or certificate. As a result of what detectives observed, Sergeant Detective Gallagher issued license person inspection notice 017943 for no current ISD certificate posted and no current common victual license posted. Mr. Muhuris signed for and accepted the notice. That's all.
Thank you. And Attorney Quilty, would you like to address the alleged incident?
Very simply, it appears as though the previous matter followed this time frame.
That's correct.
So it appears as though the license was actually renewed subsequently. Detective Hernandez, do you know, has anyone been back there, or have you been back there? Is the proper certificate posted today, to your knowledge?
I believe it is, Sergeant Gallagher. The last time we were there, was that up there?
I'm not sure, Detective Hernandez. I know this, like was previously mentioned, this report predates the other one, so.
Predates the other
Yeah.
one, correct. So it appears as though following the other one, it was renewed. That's what was suggested anyway. So, and on the time frame that you were there, detectives did the management cooperate with you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I have no further question. When the time is appropriate, I would like to just be heard on disposition. Thank you.
I have no questions.
So may I just briefly be heard on disposition, I suppose? I've had lengthy conversations with Ms. Mohammed, who has been interpreting for us this morning, making it very clear, and she understands it and has made it clear to her father, who is one of the owners, doesn't own everything, that they must comply with closing hours as set by the board unless and until the board grants them other closing hours. Notwithstanding, in my opinion, the confusion around the various dates and times here, we want to make it clear that they understand and going forward will be in full compliance with their closing hours. I would only like to indicate that in the one circumstance, I know you're waiting for a video, which we'll provide. It appears from everything that was suggested that the people in the store, the ownership, the staff felt threatened by the person with the knife, and that, in my opinion, would provide a reason why they were not allowed to close properly on that night in question. Having said that, we will provide whatever video is available and get it into the board as soon as possible. And we thank you for your time. Thanks.
Thank you, Attorney Quilty. If there are no further questions from the board, then the board will take this matter under advisement as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Finally, calling item number 9, Den Cinco LLC, doing business as Borachito, the Garrett, Boston, located at 70 Pier 4 Boulevard. Date of the incident, February 1st, 2025. Overcrowding. House count 127, capacity 107, Boston Police count 157, in violation of Mass General Laws, Chapter 130, Section 64, and Board's Rule 1.03J, 1.06A, and F. Who's present on behalf of the licensee?
Good morning again. Attorney Green, Dennis Quilty, Attorney McDermott, Quilty, Miller, and Hanley, representing the licensee. With me this morning, Hope Murphy and Gavin Mosley. I don't see them up here, but
Yep, here.
They're here. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Who's present on behalf of the Boston Police Department?
Sergeant Detective William Gallagher.
Are there any other individuals with firsthand knowledge of the alleged incident who wish to testify?
Detective Hernandez, if needed.
Thank you. Can you all please raise your right hand?
And again, acknowledges.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Yes.
Thank you. Sergeant Detective Gallagher, you may please proceed.
Yes, on 2/1/2025 at about 11:04 p.m., Sergeant Detective William Gallagher and Detective Eddie Hernandez, assigned to Licensed Premise Unit, responded to Borachito at 70 Pier 4 Boulevard to speak with staff about noise complaints being received at City Hall. As detectives approached the premise, they observed the party bus illegally parked at the curb, a line of patrons waiting to gain entrance. As detectives got closer, they observed one male drinking from an open can of beer, discarded nips on the ground, and empty bottles on the windowsill. Detectives pointed the line drinker out to staff, who promptly responded. Detectives then asked for a count from door staff, who responded 127. Inside the premise, detectives observed it to be quite crowded, with it difficult to move about. A mechanical count was conducted, which yielded 157 persons. A check of the premises licenses revealed the capacity of Borachito to be 107. Detectives informed the manager, Ms. Hope Murphy, of their findings. Ms. Murphy stated she would bring the premise into compliance. As a result, what was observed, Sergeant Detective Gallagher issued license premise inspection orders 020685 to Borachito for overcrowding, house count 127, capacity 107, BPD count 157, patrons drinking alcohol online. Ms. Hope Murphy signed for and accepted the notice. That's what we have.
Thank you. Attorney Quilty, would you like to address the alleged incident?
If I may, Sergeant Detective, the staff cooperated with you, notably Ms. Murphy, who's here this morning.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and she, when you brought the count to her attention, did she start to make the licensee in compliance with the capacity?
She did.
Your direction? Okay.
Yes.
And, okay, thank you. If I may, I have no further questions of the detective. If I may inquire of Ms. Murphy.
Yes.
Hope you've been sworn. Just state your name for the record, please.
Hope Murphy.
And what is your responsibility at the licensee?
I'm the general manager at Borachito.
And can you explain the situation regarding the situation that evening with the bus that pulled up, and how you deal with late night reservations, et cetera, and what might have occurred here with regard to the capacity that night?
Yeah, of course. The bus had pulled up very, just a few minutes before detectives arrived on site. As I came out from the bar, I saw I think they were wearing like lobster hats or something in line, and I saw them, and I was grabbing my coat to go out and address the line. And that is when detectives came to the front door. As I said to my security team, and once they see people walking up and down that line with a Borachito hat, they know to hide their alcohol. Definitely a ball dropped on our part and my security team's part, but I was about to go out and assist with handling that line. And as we always tell these people who have clearly been drinking all day on these party buses, we don't need to let anybody in who is visibly intoxicated. It's actually our duty not to. So our plan was to not let them in and kind of just catch one of them doing something wrong and then hope that they would all leave. And then additionally, the overcrowding, again, a ball dropped on our part, but our security team did not take into account for the late night reservations that we had. So they didn't take that into account with capacity while letting in general public. They also were letting in those reservations at the same time in hopes that eventually we would have the capacity would regulate once people left. Again, definitely a ball drop, but they are in a better understanding now of how to handle those late night reservations.
Did you have occasion to discuss and retrain staff with regard to reservations, capacity, counts online, et cetera?
Yes, of course. Yeah, so the incident happened on a Saturday, and the following Tuesday, I had a full security meeting, lasted about an hour, and I retrained all of them on the basics, such as capacity and how to handle those late night reservations. And then I just reiterated all of our general policies when it comes to line management and control of, all the patrons coming up at the same time.
And do your staff, do people regarding capacity, do your staff have mechanical counters to use at the door counting?
They do, yeah. Each security guard, so I have 3 security guards a night, and each of them have their own capacity counter, so they can all double check each other's numbers now. And additionally, we also do have a ID scanner that is used at the door as well to assist with, letting the appropriate people in.
And then just with regard to the so-called late night reservations, have you instructed door staff or gone over with door staff on busy nights that there are late night reservations, so you have to take those into account ahead of time?
Yes, we've worked on a clear form of communication. So I create a shared note every single night with each reservation and the time and the amount of people. So I go up, 20 minutes before said reservation, and every single night I go over how we have to bleed out some people in order to let those people in with a reserved table. And if those people have to wait 5 or 10 minutes, then they have to wait 5 or 10 minutes in order to come in. So since this incident, which was obviously very unfortunate, we have worked really hard to get back to a place where they're just thinking more ahead and keeping accurate capacity and working on egresses and everything like that.
And Dennis, may I add something real quick?
Yeah, this is Gavin. Just Gavin, just identify yourself. You've already been sworn.
Gavin Mosley, operating partner, owner of Borchito. Just here to, I was there that night, but I'm just here to support Hope as she was the clear witness. Obviously, I'm aware of everything. I just wanted to add that the drinking in line is not something we condone. It's not something it happens often. Certainly not, because we want people to come in and imbibe in our establishment and pay for it. And also, we've added another security to watch out for this. Not that we think it happens often. That was a bad circumstance. But we also don't want that, we're in the neighborhood of Echelon in a courtyard there. Obviously, people drinking in line is not good for noise and just people walking by. And so that's something we are taking very seriously.
And Mr. Mosley, while you're testifying, have you recently, that is to say in the last few weeks or so, added additional security staff for your outside line and review of patron behavior?
That is correct. After this incident, we reevaluated and said we need to add some more security to make sure that this doesn't happen again. So yes, that's recent.
Okay.
Thank you.
The commissioners may have some questions for you.
Thank you, Commissioner Curran. Commissioner Saxon, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
No questions from me. Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no questions, the board will take this under advisement as well. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Items before the board this morning that will adjourn this hearing. The board will vote Thursday morning, March 27th at 10 a.m. Notice has been posted to the city's website. Thank you all, and do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.